Rory Souchet. Cairo's Tahrir Square is packed with tens of thousands of protesters rallying against the ongoing ruling military council. In the wake of violent clashes that killed at least 33 people, the cabinet has submitted its resignation. RT's Paula Slier is following the unrest in the Egyptian capital, right above Tahrir Square. Good to see you, Paula. I know it's noisy. I'll keep this brief. You're right there in the middle of all of it. Tell us what's happening now.
Well, the million-man occupation of Tahrir Square is well and truly underway. As you look behind me, you can see the crowd, tens of thousands of people who have answered a call to come to Tahrir Square today and manifest their frustration. Now, since the early hours of this morning, people have been arriving. They've been chanting really the same message, and that is for the military junta that has been ruling this country since February's ouster of Hosni Mubarak to step down. The violence is increasing. It's happening in all these side streets leading here to Tahrir Corner. There we are receiving reports of protesters literally breaking up pavements and throwing concrete mounds at the security officers. They've also barricaded themselves behind steel fences. Now, the security police for their side have been firing rubber bullets. They've also been firing tear gas almost non-stop, so much so that you'll be hard-pressed to find someone here in the crowd who's not walking around without a tear gas mask. The smell of tear gas is constantly in the air here. Now, we are hearing from medics that they're simply not coping. Churches and mosques in the area have opened their doors. They are offering assistance, and we're also hearing now for the first time confirmation that the security forces have been using live ammunition. Doctors reporting that many of those who have been killed died from live gunshots. Now, the Tahrir's main holding station for fertilities is also reporting that it's run out of coffins, and it is given a call for new coffins to be brought to the area. So the situation descending and descending fast. At the same time, I was walking around earlier, and almost in an eerie foreboding of what's to come, I saw a number of youngsters writing their names and their family contact details on their arms. This is in case they get killed, that at least they'll be able to be identified. So the situation here, one of incredible tension.
Now, Paula, despite the situation deteriorating, you're talking of the violence. The big news is the cabinet has offered to resign just days before the election. What's the next step for the military council?
Well, the interim government handed its resignation to the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces late last night, and the military has not yet responded as to whether or not they'll accept the resignation of a government that essentially they appointed. But we understand that they're holding emergency talks, that the person who's being bandied about as the Prime Minister-to-be, possibly, is Mohammed al-Baradei. He was the former head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, and he will, if indeed he is tasked to do this, appoint a new government. But until such time, the current government is overseeing the whole situation. This is an attempt by the military to try and meet some of the demands of the tens of thousands of people who are here in Tahrir Square. But people here are not fooled. They say that it will essentially still be the military pulling the strings behind the scene. I mean, some of the sentiments that people are saying here is that the heroes of the last revolution back in February have turned out to be the villains of this revolution, and that people here believe that the military and Mubarak were both dictators, were both one and the same. The question now is whether or not Monday's parliamentary elections will go ahead, and at this stage that does not seem that feasible. A number of candidates have suspended their electoral activities. They've actually come here to join in with the demonstrations. 37 political parties have bandied together. They have given their weight behind these demonstrations. The Muslim Brotherhood, of course, is one of the main organizers of this demonstration, and they are touted to be the biggest winner from next week's parliamentary elections. But they have said that while they have not yet cancelled their campaign, they are suspending their electoral activities.
Well, Paula, as we've been speaking to you here, we've been looking at aerial live pictures all over central Tahrir Square there. The swarming crowds, tents set up. Certainly people there waving their banners. We can see one ambulance trying to get through the crowds there. As you were saying earlier, some of the children writing their names and the names of their family members and telephones on their arms in case they're struck down by the live ammunition that we have now confirmed is being used on areas of the crowd. You know, it's been 9 months, Paula, follows since the former President Mubarak was ousted. Some are wondering whether the revolution was a good thing in the first place. RT's Paula Slier, live from Tahrir Square. Thank you.